Hello, Kambawa, Genki desu ka? How are all of you tonight? I always get entertained watching people do the first comments. By and large, uh, I always find it enjoyable, especially seeing like 20 people do first at the same time. But to say the least, I'm very happy to see all of you here tonight, and so happy that all of you are at my debut for this. I'm sure a lot of you are used to seeing PowerPoints and all sorts of slides when it comes to VTubers introducing themselves, but every time that I have to see a PowerPoint, I just have a huge grievance against them. In fact, just off the top of my head, I remember any time being at HQ and going into a meeting, and I'm just sitting there all happy, and then I see a projector start and it's, huh? 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 Because I just cannot tolerate sitting through PowerPoints. But I will tell you a bit about myself and would love any questions that you guys tend to have. So, starting off, I would say my favorite food is chicken katsu. In fact, if you actually look at the amount of money I spend on it, that might be like 70% of money I spend. It's just too tasty. Mm. Mm. Besides that, I like watching a fair amount of anime, and something I'm quite good at is being subscribed to multiple anime streaming services, and despite that, not using them all that often. In fact, I would say the majority of the anime I watch is through YouTube clips, and I'm pretty bad at actually finishing them. To say the least, I have a very long list of anime that I'm supposed to watch, I intend to watch, but I never quite get around to it at all. And despite that, I still have these services I'm subscribed to for quite some time. Quite possibly a waste of money, but that is what it is. Uh, Music, I really love synthwave music, and as you can tell by my background music, it is by far one of my favorite types. I also really like, traditional rock and such. I like Steve Miller Band a lot. How enjoyable do I find War Thunder? The quick answer, and by the sound of that, what background music makes me curious, because I hear something in my background, and I'm curious that you don't. But I guess we'll see how the way that goes. I can hear it. I'll try actually making it louder. There we go. Maybe. But sorry, back to the actual question of how do I find War Thunder enjoyable? Long story short, War Thunder is 100% a game for masochists. And I know that what that kind of thing says about me just by saying that that's the kind of game it is. But that's the truth. It is a game that's very easy to get salty while playing, and you will see that quite soon that it's aggravating. It can be a very aggravating game. I love it to death, and I've spent an unnecessary amount of money on it. Quite an unnecessary amount of money on it, but I like it to say the least. But we'll get to that in but a moment. Favorite vehicle in War Thunder is the Panther II. I absolutely love the Panther II. In fact, I actually did a model of one recently that I posted on my Twitter that I'm quite proud of. I don't know whether it's actually good or not, but I like it. Whew. What other games? I like a lot of Company of Heroes as well. I do like playing Company of Heroes. I mostly like shooters and RTSs. I'm really into. I do play RPG games as well. Um, Fallout New Vegas is probably my favorite one in the series, and we'll see what kind of response that gets. But I do really like Fallout New Vegas. And I also really like the Far Cry series. I also have a lot of rants about the Far Cry series. GTA, I'm so bad at finishing GTA games. Like, I get 50% of the way through, and then I just don't end up finishing it. And then I have to come back to them a while later to actually do anything with the game. I do, and we'll see if this is controversial. My German is so bad. I've forgotten so much of my German over the time. Just for you, I'll try to relearn it. But GTA, I think GTA 4 is better than 5, and I think if you look at the way they do graphics rendering and the physics engines for each of those games, I would hope to see that you guys find that the same, but maybe not. GTA 4 has a special place in my heart too, especially for the crash physics, because I think of those games, it has some of the best crash physics for it. League of Legends, I never really got into. I definitely had friends that asked me to play it with them, and then I kind of never just got around to it. Much like my animes that I don't get around to. But I feel like I've got enough with War Thunder. I've got enough games that make me salty as it is. But you know what? We can go ahead and get that cat hunting started, because it has been quite some time since I did low tier US, and especially to harass people with M22s and M8s with their nice tasty 37s. Which, fun fact before we get into this, what I find is a very amusing story is during Bastogne, there is actually a reported incident of an M8 Hellcat with its 37 coming up behind a King Tiger and knocking out its engine and putting it out of the fight. Which, can you just believe the amount of ridiculousness to go through that you just had your tank knocked out by a Greyhound when you're supposed to be the biggest, baddest one on the field? I can only imagine that tank commander coming out of his hatch to look at that, some maybe 10-ton little M8, like, huh? Just completely unamused by what a folly he had made. That's actually another vehicle I like a fair amount, is the M8, simply because of how it looks. German is a neat language. Between it and Japanese, I think German is easier for me, though. Japanese, especially, there are a lot of exceptions that I find to it, and my reading is super subpar for it. But German I can read a lot easier. But it's just been so long that it doesn't immediately come to my mind whatsoever. But let's get started here. And you are done. No. There we go. Which, for any of you who have played War Thunder by chance, I am curious what your take has been on hot tracks in general, and especially the new dubstep music that's been playing, especially at high tier, and also apparently whenever you're in a jet for some reason, it plays. I'm not really sure why specifically also jets get it, but they do. I like it. It's not the worst thing I ever heard, but at the same time, I'm not entirely sure which actually makes my auxiliary subwoofer go off more, the beats or the actual cannon fire itself, which raises a lot of questions for me. Blah, 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 blah. Also, I will warn you right now that I am not fantastic at viewing chat and while playing the game. I will do my best to keep up with chat, but long story short, I actually don't have two monitors I do this with. I do it in I probably do this in the most inefficient manner possible, which is I have everything on one computer, and then I actually have a separate computer running next to me that I use to monitor and mess with things actually on my streaming site, like Twitch or YouTube. So please, please forgive me for that. I will do my best with it. But, like I said, we are going to be hunting down German big cats, tigers, maybe panthers. I don't remember if I can kill the panther using the 37 on the M22 or M8, but we will certainly find out. And I actually need to work on my US because I'm only at 7.7 right now for him. So we'll go ahead and also put that on. I can certainly appreciate that if you're German, not choosing between Japanese and German and automatically choosing German. I'd assume you have every advantage in knowing that language compared to the other. And this is probably the singularly worst map for trying to do this. So we're just going to stay in the town. And hopefully do mediocrely well in the town. Also, you'll quickly learn I have a massive grievance against these French tanks. Especially those French tanks. And this French tank. Oh. The Crusader, British tanks I always have a grievance against, and this goes a lot between how War Thunder portrays vehicles. And I certainly understand that, you know, if they did it historically accurate to a T, a lot of the German tanks would break down and spawn. But that would basically apply to a lot of the British tanks. It wasn't until way late war that they developed anything that could be considered reliable to the troops. And a lot of the time they had massive issues with fuel leaks and carburation issues, which is why I don't believe Britain developed the Spitfire on their own, because if you couldn't make a carburetor for a land vehicle or land-based anything, I can't fathom how they managed to make a plane that is as good as the Spitfire is. It just raises a lot of questions in my book. And cap. Flat.
Most of the zones are under control.
Alright, we're not going to go that way because I was just asking to run straight into somebody. In fact, I don't even know why I'm going this way. That is also asking to run straight into somebody. least my teammate is doing well with his 1950s era tank against my early World War II paradropped tank. Now this truly was the worst map. Okay, so we know someone is right there. And there's a Panzer IV, it looks like. Let's do this. I already messed up. I already messed up really bad. This is such a bad map for this. Alright. We're trying this again. And this is only going to get worse because this is terrible on anything that isn't road. Actually, so how much I know about engines unironically. So, I'm a master tech, for any of you that understand that. I actually started out doing restorations or work on muscle cars and Porsches. So I have built a fair decent number of engines, and funnily enough, what helps harbor my grudge against British vehicles is that I also worked in a British shop on MGBs and Triumphs, and I pulled a bunch of Jaguar engines. And that's why I also don't like working on Jaguars, because they're a pain in the ass. So, any of the comments that you hear me say about mechanically related things are actually from a place of having worked on them, not simply taking, you know, stuff from a book and assuming, yeah, that ought to be correct. I'm sure they got it right. I'm not saying don't take anything I say with a grain of salt, because I definitely don't know anything or everything. We're gonna assume that I didn't say anything, but I meant everything, and that it actually comes somewhere with knowledge. And the same thing when it comes to you'll hear me say plenty of different remarks about how tank warfare actually is while I crash my M8 into a tree, and that also does in fact come from a bit of knowledge, as I did used to be an armor officer. So again, you know, not everything I say, you know, shouldn't be taken with a grain of salt. You know, obviously, I'm sure each of you have your own knowledge on each of these topics that is value. Ooh, wait a minute. Sorry, we'll get back to this in a second. First big cat. Come on, M8. Go. And flap. Put it out. Put it out. Put out your fire. Do it. Do it. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Oh god. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Oh, you bastard. That is partially why I need the Locust. So that I can actually turn. So that, you know, with the Locust you can actually turn and stay onto them. The M8 Greyhound does not allow that. Ugh, I should have put backups on that. Alright, let's hope for a better map for that. Because anything that open is not conducive for what I'm trying to do. Yeah. I'm not LARPing mechanics, as you say. Oh, what the? This is far from the ideal outcome. But that's War Thunder for you. Remember earlier when I was saying War Thunder is a game for masochists? Well, here we are on the same map, on the same side. Actually, I like this side more. I will say that much. I will give that boat a credibility to it, but it is still not much better for this. I actually think we are at a lower BR though, so that'll make this a tad easier. Because T-34s, ISs, and KVs, except maybe except for the KV-1 Sport. Anything else, I don't think we can actually pen from the back. But we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Hopefully I don't get absolutely ruined by a Panther again because I can't pivot steer. Whoa. Okay, I was sorry, I was looking away. This is an example of me turning to read chat and not paying attention. And I damaged my tracks. If I recall correctly, I'm gonna assume that I just saw someone make the comment that they like this map. I'm gonna say to each their own. I don't mind it nearly as much at 6.7, because at 6.7 it's a lot more tolerable. But I'm so used to actually getting stuck with it like 9.0 or high tier, and the problem is everything can reach out and touch you at that BR. And you basically, it's spawn versus spawn for the most part, which I don't find very enjoyable. I feel like it kind of ruins the pacing of what makes War Thunder a more enjoyable game. And it's not my least favorite map. I'll put it that way. There's no nuclear sun. That's a step in the right direction. I stopped paying attention and kind of got myself lost here. There we go. So not having a nuclear sun is always good. But it's certainly not my favorite map. I think Normandy with the 3 cap points is probably my favorite map. It is certainly, I think, a more balanced map, and while yes, you do have some level of shooting into each other's spawns that can occur, it's not nearly as bad as on some of the other maps, like Berlin, or whichever the one is that has the Reichstag in it. Blup, 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 blup. Alright. So that's okay. I think I could have penetrated a wheeled French thing, but that is not a ooh. Alright, hold up. Since we know they're a cap, we can go ahead and try to come up behind them. And I know we've seen this already, but ooh, wait a minute. Alright, so that, what is that? A Ruski. We can't do anything about that. Okay. That was pretty uncash money of him. You know what? Hold up. I'm actually gonna try to farm some points back here. Actually, no, I won't. No, I won't. We'll stick with what we're trying to do. I can say at least the one saving grace of doing this as opposed to straight just playing my normal lineups is I am less likely to keep ending up in planes. I oh so common end up in planes if I have the opportunity. Especially the G91. I like the G91 a lot with the AS Nords, which is basically the go-to. I mean, that's kind of the catch-all plane, especially for Germany, besides the 262 U4. But it's just so tasty. It's good at what it does, and I cannot argue that point, to say the least. Yeah, like I said, French tanks have a special area of distaste in my heart. Um, and a lot of it comes from, so while we're playing Hold W Simulator over here, French tanks early war were good. A lot of the Germans had a lot of issue dealing with French tanks early war, especially the Char, because of its frontal armor. But then when you start looking into later war, when they still have the SMO S-35 and the Renaults, and they're fighting, you know, mid-war or later war vehicles, they just don't come up to snuff. On top of that, that majority of them are a 1 or 2 man turret makes them very crew inefficient, and then the fact that they use signal flags wasn't... Oh, what's that? Okay, hold up. Wait, that's a kitty. Round 2. Not anymore. Thank you, M4, but not really. Actually, possibly one of my favorite things is that the Char 1, since it had the 75 that was in the hull, that obviously didn't have its own traverse, you had to turn the whole vehicle to aim it, used a steering... I hear another tank. Yeah. We'll ignore that. Anyway, so it had a turning system that utilized Castrol oil. And the problem was, it was such a top secret thing that they didn't tell the troops how to service it. And so what would happen is the troops would put regular medicinal Castrol oil in it, which doesn't have the same boiling temperature as the Castrol oil to actually operate the system. So it failed, and the troops were like, wow, this is the worst thing I ever used. The thing about it is the French government then that's an Allied tank, continued to perpetrate that, yes, it was an unreliable system, not because it was and they thought it was. It's that what they were doing is they were afraid that if other people thought it was good, they'd copy it. So by letting it be known that, hey, this system is terrible, despite that it was actually good when well maintained, it was actually a good system when you actually worked on it, they wanted people to think it was bad. Which I find beyond entertaining, because it never came into play. Oh, bollocks. Hello, friend. I'll take a kill assist, that's fine. I couldn't have done anything about that anyways. I like that, you know... Nope. That is a Sherman. Come on, little great. Oh. This is why I wish I had my M22. Despite that... Okay, we're good. Okay, we're not good. Not good. Go. Go. Haha. Man. Dun. Oh god, crash. And... Whoop! Haha! What now? Turn the gun. Okay, that's kind of expected. Try that again. Yay! It's not a cat, but I'll take it. Because it's French, and therefore it deserved it. So that is at least some kind of feather in my cap. A Pyrrhic victory, as they would say. There was something looking over there, so I don't want to drive out into the open. We're going to go try to capture B, even though that's 50 shades of a terrible idea. Uh, okay. Let's see. First, let's give him some of that. Second, let's just go for it. Whatever. In it to win it. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you know, French tanks aren't much to look at. And that's dead. I haven't worked on many French cars. So I can't remember off the top of my head any that I've worked on. I know they had come through the shop that I was at prior, but I don't think I remember seeing any while I was there. What I do remember seeing, which I love and hate at the same time, is a Lada. And so a Lada is a Russian car, and if you ever just wanted to like know the definition of car, it's a Lada. It is 100% a Lada. Like nothing, everything is the most basic thing possible on a Lada. For example, your windshield wipers, like the washer fluid that you use on the windshield, is like a pump that you have to pump with your hand to actually spray windshield washer fluid onto it. And like it's astoundingly basic, and it's a car that you love because it is literally car. There's nothing extra besides car. There's car. That's all you're looking at when you look at a Lada. But it's also terribly unreliable. You can almost guarantee that it's never gonna work when you actually need it to work. And to put that in context, we had the same Lada at our shop for like 3 months straight, because if after you fix one thing, something else would break immediately, and it was right back. And typically it involved the fuel system, because they didn't know how to make a carburetor. So that's something the Soviets were worse at than the British, is making a carburetor. And now we're playing Initial D. And I don't remember if I can drift the Greyhound at all. Well, kind of. I would think... Oh, ooh, we can kill that. Hold up. Flat. I will take 2 French tanks. Pesky little boys. And we'll try to recap A, because I don't see a reason not to. And there's not a turn there. I don't know why I thought there was. I hear machine gun fire off to the left, and I don't know if it's that friendly medium tank. We're gonna go find a better spot. This is terrible. Terribly. Italians are also something of interest, specifically just because I like the CV-33. It has absolutely no business ever being on a battlefield, but there it is. And it's one of those things that, like, on paper, it definitely seemed like a good idea. You know, you have this mobile gun box, but then when you take into account the way it actually ended up getting used, especially when you start putting the larger, like, millimeter cannons and stuff in it, it's kind of out of its element. Much like me trying to make this turn. There we go. I'm not going to go that far. How many do they have left? Not a lot. Whoop. Alright, I guess back to B then. There's dead me. I have no idea why I'm going this way. Wait a minute, was that something? Eh. No, it's not. It's a truck. See, Lada is the best worst car. It is astounding that they ever got sold. And they're still made, if I recall, somewhere overseas still makes the Lada, and I have no idea why. I will say at the very least it's better than the Ural, which is a Russian motorcycle, which is so bad that if you try to find spare parts for it, the company will tell you to buy parts elsewhere. And hold up. Hold up. This reverse is as bad as a Panther. Jesus. There we go. See, this is the other issue I have with this map, especially at lower tier. Nothing is really fast enough for the expanses to make it, I don't want to say logical, but as enjoyable. You spend a lot of time just driving from place to place. Alright, let's find him. Hold up. Stealth mode. That can kill me. Haha. Ah. Not cool. Okay. Let's go ahead and take the long route around, and hopefully our teammate will back us up here. Because again, he didn't die so far, so that's at least something for our teammate. Come on, 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 come on. No, teammate! Oh, that's the good stuff. Oh. Yep. No, 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 no. You don't get rear armor. You might get rear armor. No. Okay. We're just gonna delay this as much as possible. Don't do it! Don't do it! No. Nope. You don't need to do that. You. That was... Alright. Alright, hold up. We're just gonna swing for the fences at this point. Nope, 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 nope. Oh. Russian tanks are such a pain. I have nothing to deal with them. You know, we're actually pretty late game here, and this will be a little more useful for our team. You know, I won't disagree that the Firefly is one of the better looking Sherman variants. It certainly looks better than most. But, oh man, is it cramped inside of one of them. Especially the Gunner. The Gunner possibly has the worst single life to live inside the turret of a Firefly. I mean, just the sheer level of how cramped it is ridiculous. But it is definitely a quite good-looking vehicle. And I don't see the KV-85. I see the KV-85. Alright, let's try this. I hope that was not an enemy plane I just heard. Where did you go? Ah, I lost track of him. Oh, wait, there he is. And blep. Ha ha. That's what he gets for killing my Greyhound. My oh so innocent Greyhound. And there's an enemy plane up, and that is bad news for me. Luckily, he's as good, or not even as good, as bad as a pilot as I am, because I am actually very bad at this. Let's see, enemies. We're actually going to fly towards that SPA for a little bit. Maybe he'll cover us. Where are you? Wait a minute, what the? I would hope that for something that has unretractable landing gear, I can outmaneuver it. But the P-47 is one heavy girl, and I don't want to make that assumption right now. Where did he go? I am so bad at spotting planes. Well, whatever. He'll probably show up at some point. In the meantime, I see another tank. I only got a 500-pounder left. We're gonna go for you, because I think I can get the other guy with missiles. That's not gonna be a kill. No. I don't know why he said bullseye. That was far from a bullseye. That was an undeserved bullseye claim. What was that? A tiger? I don't think I can get him with missiles. We'll try. But I don't think it's the case. Nope. Nope. It's also not a tiger, it's an ARL. But nope. Wow. You know what? This is basically over. We're just kind of grinding them out now at this point. Good job, T-3457. You did it. You're a team player. Alright, I shouldn't get penalized for this. I'm just gonna say that, Topo, you're usually confused, so I'm not sure that really lends any credence to what's happening, whether it makes sense or not. Alright. Not terrible map, not terrible map, not terrible map. So, if my friend gets on, which he might, and join me on here, we'll see. He is undeservedly good with the Chaika. The amount of jets that exist at like the 6.0 BR that he has shot down with his Chaika is disgusting, to say the least. It is a horrendous thing. I spend most of the matches just, what? At the amount of people that he takes for a play in that thing. I mean, I'm 90% sure there was one match that we were actually playing Air RB, and I was in my Yak 3P, wasting all my ammo as a Yak 3P, and he was like the last on our team with a Chaika, dogfighting 2 or 3 planes at once, and just not falling for it. It is disgusting, to say the least. Beyond impressive. Something that no one should be capable of doing. Alright, hopefully we don't just get alpha struck at sea, because that is an unfortunate possibility. And safe. Maybe not safe. Oof. Hold up. I think we can get that from here. Yes. Well, well, I lose. Don't do it. Stop doing that. Stop it, Frenchman. Teammate, maybe? Yay! Hmm. That is 100% what I need teammates for at any point in time. Okay, see you later, Vok. Thank you for coming in for this. And there's another EBR somewhere, and we're gonna replace a crewman because I still need to fix stuff. Repair that. No, no, start the repair. I don't know. Alright, well this is a thing. This is the world we live in now. Not at the moment. I definitely wouldn't mind in the future doing Let's Plays with you guys, but as I currently have it set up, I think I will take a pass at such a gracious offer at the well, okay, you know, this is bad. I'm just gonna give it one of these. And flap. Fuel tank. Flap. That.
Another zone captured, we have the advantage.
This is also really ooh, you know what? Hold on. No. No, I have to fight the urge to use a plane. We're supposed to be hunting using micro machines. This thing is gonna go slow on dirt. Also, I like I like the design of the 50 on the Greyhound, specifically for that to use it whatsoever, the crew has to exit the vehicle more or less. Imagine that level of inconvenience where you have to actually leave the safety of your thin sheet metal turret to operate probably one of the best weapon systems that exists on this vehicle. Like, the 37 is not bad whatsoever. I can't remember if vehicles with the 37 got issued canister shot, with the exception... Kitty! Tree! And... Come on. Oh, this is bad. No, don't. Just let it happen. Let it happen. You're breaking my wheels. Stop it. Don't. Just... We're doing fine. You can... Don't do that. Alright, well... He broke my wheels. I can't move. This is a very bad version of this situation. God, the M8 is so bad at this. The M8 is so bad compared to the Locust. It just does not have the mobility it needs. We're gonna get some revenge bombing. We'll kill that cat one way or another. Hi, Galactic Dragon. You know, having the other M8 probably wouldn't be a bad idea. I feel...
Attention to the map.
I'll take that kill assist. I feel obligated to use the M8 I have, because if any of you remember the event that it was part of it, and how miserable that event was, I gotta get my mileage out of that. I suffered enough to unlock the little thing. Let's see. I don't see anyone on C. I don't see anyone up there that's alive. Actually, I don't see that much. We might be doing pretty good as a team right now. Yeah, I actually don't see... No, there's a Panther D somewhere. Where are you, Panther?
Another zone captured, we have the advantage.
Where? Ooh, there we go. T-34. And I don't know what that is. Something German. It's Dunkelgelb, so it's German. Or a KV-178R, other letters. No, don't kill it, teammates. Boost. And blap. Pull up, pull up, pull up. Ah, too early. Man, that actually, Panther D is going to town on our team. We might want to figure that one out. That's gotta be alive. I think that's a Stu or something. Hold up. I am not gonna be able to pull out of this in time, maybe. Let's see. There we go! There we go! I will gladly take that, because I had no reason to think that that was gonna hit. That was nothing but luck. And I kind of want to go for that SPAA, but I think the Panther is what's capping A. Or is around A. Wait a minute. No, 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 no! Okay, well. That is my level of flying. That is absolutely what I'm capable of. And... might it be? Ha, it is. I will actually thank you if you play Soviets specifically so I don't see T-34s and KVs and other things I have zero chance of actually doing damage to. They are too tough of a nut. I like the idea of the Locust specifically for that. I think the Locust was a US-based project. There are so many of the tanks that are actually, or World War II era tanks that are British-based, that they asked the US to try to develop one. And I think the M22 started as US. It wasn't a British paratrooper initiative. But like the M6, the heavy tank, was a British initiative where they wanted one to be tried to develop for essentially what the Tigers used for, you know, a frontline breaking through enemy fortifications and defensive areas, like a really bruiser of a tank. And this is actually a good map for us. And it's Germany and Sweden. And I'm pretty sure I can deal with stuff that is Swedish, because it's mostly meatballs and repurposed German things. I like that you're at 5.7, but you have your BT7 out. Which, speaking of BT7s, I don't get why I keep seeing so many at 9.0. There's a horrendous level of BT7s that end up at 9.0, and I am pretty sure they can actually hurt the Leopards, because the Leopards have paper-thin armor early on. But it just seems like a very interesting meme-ish pick. And I'm 95% sure that is the case, that it's just the meme pick. But, let's see what we can find. I'm doing this as terrible as possible, because I really shouldn't be going straight in. But we'll see how this goes. Waffenträgers are something I actually feel bad for. They're slow, not armed enough to be slow, open top, and yeah, they have the long 88, but then they also have a terrible turret rotation to them. And I don't think it was Germany's best move when it came to, hey, let's rush to make an anti-tank weapon. My favorite is the Packwagen, or the Pack Puma. Very much the pack puma. It's a oh, don't do it. Don't do it, you bastard. There's a Panther D on the edge of the water. Oh. Any puma needs death. Pumas are both an adorable creature and an adorable armored car. If you want to see something that needs death, go look up an 8-rad. It's the German predecessor to the Puma, and it is a horrendously atrocious looking vehicle. I hope it has good utility, because by all means looks were not considered at all when they created this thing. And I might cross the river again. It's a terrible idea, but I'm gonna do it. Because I can't shoot from over the river. That is gonna be absolute failure. We will join that comet. I wish I hadn't lost my locust so quickly. There's a lot of German kitties in this game. But I also don't want to put like 200 backups on it. And drift. Not much of a drift there. Well, kinda. Oh, wait. This is only going as expected. I feel a little bit like this is undue justice, the fact that he is burning me out the way that I would be burning him out if I had the opportunity. And I hear a teammate, and I hope that teammate comes and helps me, because otherwise this is going nowhere very quickly. I have nothing functional. And it's the same one! That's rough. Alright, I'm out. I wasted everything there. I wasted everything on bad plays to one Panther. Hello, Jenny. Thank you for stopping by. How are you doing today? Yeah, that is actually an unfortunate deja vu. That was a very unfortunate deja vu. One thing I always also find interesting out of War Thunder is you can have 64 people waiting for battle, and the queue time be what it is. And in the meantime, I'm going to use this queue as a conversation piece for that piece of junk that drove by and just drove by again, because Bradleys are awful in real life. I mean, they're too tall, and they're thinly armored, and they basically do every job they're assigned poorly. I can't think of that many people I know that actually have a positive opinion of the Bradley at the end of the day. In comparison, the BMP was a much better design. Russia did a much better job with their IFV than the US tried to do with the Bradley. And that's just kind of how that is. It can't hold a full squad either. It's the perfect example of trying to be a jack of all trades and doing nothing well because of it. Yeah. I've never actually had the privilege of operating the tow system on it, so I don't have too much to say about the tow system in of itself. I'd assume that it's on par with its contemporaries, but the rest of the package just leaves so little to be desired that I couldn't find myself to, even if it was a great missile carrier, for that to make up for what is the rest of that vehicle. When you have so many other missile carriers that do, you know, a better job because they're just a missile carrier. They're not a conglomeration of 50 different things that were trying to be done at once and all of them doing poorly because of it. This is taking impressively long, and I'm curious what Gaijin is doing as to cause such an affront. Hey Danny, do you have a 5.3 lineup for US that you could try? That way it's not taking forever. Also, for any of you that played War Thunder and have have seen this, especially in the higher tier matches where people put the fireworks on their vehicles, I always find that massively distracting, especially at high tier, where at a cursory glance, I'm prone to think that they are, you know, when a vehicle like the Abrams that has blowout magazines gets racked, but obviously not a full detonation. It always throws me for that, and I have yet to check. I keep meaning to check if they show up in thermals. While that's something that would be very nonsensical for Gaijin to allow to happen, it's also the kind of thing that Gaijin would allow to happen. And I would like to think there's a nice stream of fire that is appearing above each of those tanks in thermal vision. There we go. I guess the Ardennes isn't the worst map for this. Especially this version of Ardennes, which is less open field. Still open field, but less open field. You know what? Hold up. I keep making the mistake of losing you early. So we're going to take the M8 first and use that to cap. And that way, if that dies, I'm less upset that I have gotten rid of my ace in the hole. And then later we can come in with the Locust and hopefully come up behind all sorts of Tigers and Panthers and Siege. Also, the PT-76 is a vehicle you see a lot late game, and actually the M18 for that matter. The M18 appears so much in like 9.0 on US lists, which it's a double-edged sword in that it performs disgustingly because the Leopard has no armor, and then by the fact that I'm curious what percentage of them are people that say bought the IPM or the other like premium versions of the Abrams and thus just need to fill out a lineup. In hindsight, this was a mistake. This thing is too slow on Knot Road. There we go. Come on, little Greyhound. Stretch those legs. Don't get screwed by them shooting smoke. And kind of. I think I can fit in there better. Maybe. No, this is going mediocre. And good. And there's a tank on the other side of this building. Let's see. So they won't be able to approach very easily from the front because that's too open. So, ooh! Alright, hold up. Where's he gonna go? Where's he gonna go? Come on. Stealth, don't fail me now. Beep. Beep. Ah, don't. Nope. Nope. We're just gonna... Nope. I have no idea what that panther is doing. Okay. Are we good? Aha! And flap. We need to get his engine. I don't know if I can get his engine. I will take that. We're gonna go after that Tiger now. That's one kitty down. And bum rush. Speed. Speed. Flap. No, 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 no. This is... Nope. Nope. No. Alright, now we can actually bring out the good vehicle for this. 'Cause I actually think it might have more penetration. Typically, when you're right up on top of them, the 37 will still knock out their engine and set them on fire.
Attention to the designated grid square. Attention to the map.
Hearts of Iron is a game that I've actually never tried. I would imagine I'd be pretty mediocre at it because I'm not great at the amount of... I don't want to say I'm not going to say multitasking. It's basically multitasking. You're my shield now. Super. There's a lot of micromanagement in Hearts of Iron, and I think I'd be terrible at it. I mean, I barely can micromanage Company of Heroes, especially on maps that have the ability for units to freeze to death. I have a lot of units that freeze to death on those maps. I don't want to say they die in vain, but I have definitely let entire squads succumb to that. And it does not look good upon your service record. Alright, Tiger, where you at? So you're on cap, and I'm stuck. And I think I hear another tank. I don't like this. Because I think I hear someone to our right. Okay. Ooh, I see him, I see him, I see him. Hold up. He is... You... Panther F. I should have gone to the tunnel. And I should have also trusted my instincts that I heard something off to the right. Alright, well... Oh, I just realized to put an A2 on this lineup. That is kind of a mistake. I wish I'd put the A3 on this lineup. Yeah, I have always thought about trying Hearts... Ooh, or actually, besides Hearts of Valor, also Men at War Assault Squad is a game that I always thought about trying. But that is also a lot of micromanagement. Especially the fact that units can run out of ammo and then you have to tell them to get more ammo. That is not something I imagine I'd do great at. Now, if I could just, you know, focus on a single unit or 2 units maybe 3 units, I could handle that. But that is a game I do want to try. Another game that I'd love to also get into is Postscriptum. Anything that's a lot closer to the sim side of things, I always enjoy. And Postscriptum always caught my interest. I also, for a while, was following Hell Let Loose. And I'm on the bridge on which one I'd like more, you know, and maybe you guys who have played Postscriptum or Hell Let Loose would have an opinion. But the reason I've always been on the fence about it is because, from my understanding, they do different things well. And that, say, for example, Postscriptum is a lot more realistic, and you can spend so many times just observing the edges of a battle or taking forever to actually see combat. Whereas Hell Let Loose kind of gets you right into it right off rip, which obviously has its own merits. But those are definitely 2 games that I've always had a bit of an interest in trying out. And please don't have cannons. Yay. Alright, I hear something firing off on the other side of that building, but I don't want to stick out too far, because I don't know what's out there. We're gonna take this second to actually fix whatever got broken. I think it's vision ports. I'm 95% sure it's just vision ports got damaged. Ooh. Where'd you go? And bollocks. Alright, you know, we'll go on. They seem to be pretty focused over there. See, and that's exactly what I thought, is that Men of War would be very frustrating on the micromanagement side of things, just given that there's so much going on. Yeah, it's one of those things that I feel I'd get into, and I'd still like to try, but in the long term would end up start doing very poorly in. And I am being marked on their map, so I need to stop going forward. Nope. Where are you? Because I think that's a verbal Vind. Where did you go? Oh, wait a minute. Where are you? Hold up. We'll pull on the other side of this tree line. That is unfortunate. Save me, Tiger. Oh, wait, there it is, there it is, there it is. Ah, he's too low. And for what shot me, I don't see him. An unfortunate turn of events. Hold up. Ooh, it is a tiger. And I think it's probably actually heading down this road, given where that guy just died. Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. Alright, so... Oh, is he right here? Wait a minute, are you right here, kitty? You are. And someone else got him. There you are. Blep. That is actually a surprisingly good vehicle for its BR, that half track, which I always thought was an interesting thing that Gaijin ended up adding. Which I guess it was necessary. I mean, it definitely fills a gap that Germany had at low BR SPAA. But, whoops. How good it is rather entertaining. It is quite the quite the champion of the field. That is nostalgia right there. World of Conflict is a game that I have. So this was a mistake. Don't do it, Hetzer. Don't. You don't. Huzzah. This is not great. Oh, it's an Italian. I played so much World of Conflict. It was the original one. I don't think I had Soviet Assault. That is a nostalgic game. I played so much of that back in the day. And especially because it was something that I liked a lot more by the fact that it got rid of probably my worst trait, which is being able to micromanage also doing the buildings. The fact that you could just go out and build the units you needed and they'd airdrop in your spawn zone wherever you set them to was always pretty good for me. That is something that I could handle a lot better. So that's a game that I played a lot of. I really like World of Conflict. That's an old one. Stellaris is also a neat game. Very minor experience in Stellaris, though. I definitely did not play as much Stellaris as, other RTS games of its time. That is actually... That's probably enough of actually getting... not unexpectedly, very expectedly just pushed around by German cats. That is about what I would have guessed for that. And I'm going to go ahead and step it up to 5.7 and get rid of my micro machines, except the M8. We'll keep the M8 for a minute. But the A3 I actually like a good bit. I like it more than the A2, especially since it's the HVSS suspension, which just makes it have such better flotation going over bumps and everything. And it doesn't lose speed so terribly. US, I like US overall. Definitely with some of the BR changes they made to it, it became 5.7 became not as great of an area. But like, it's not my least favorite. I would almost say that my least favorite BR and country right now is Russia 7.3. And I used to love Russia 7.3 because I love the IS-3. But last time I played it, it was nothing but up tiers and fighting things way more modern than anything I was fielding. And that was tough. That was certainly a tough thing to deal with there. And this is actually another map that I like a lot. I like the other side of this map more, but it's not the worst. The other side is nice specifically for just coming straight down the road and then hanging out right here because that's such a nasty place to be. But definitely this side isn't, at least, broken in comparison. Okay. And basically everybody for all intents and purposes. This also reminded me how long it's been since I played US. Which might be upwards of like 4 months or so. I used to play US a lot more, and then I stopped at 7.7 when I had the M60 because it became a lot less enjoyable at that BR, so I just stopped grinding it in general. It is something I need to get back to, because I wouldn't mind being like 9-0 or so with the US, because obviously once you get to the Abrams, you're pretty much set. And especially since Gaijin went the way of having US, for whatever reason, match with the Soviets on their team most of the time at high BR. So it's mostly SEAL clubbing. And I went this way out of sheer force of nature. And I realized how bad of a mistake this was at this point. This was not my best move, to say the least. Yeah. Now I feel dumb. This thing was way too slow for this. But I didn't die with like Danny, so I will take that as a feather in my cap. Especially to an EBR. Which are very much just becoming... Wow, Jesus. He is going to town on our team. And I think he's right there. So we'll see if we can actually help at all then. Is he? Oh. Well, then that artillery went for nothing. As for HoloLive or not, I don't think that'll ever be an opportunity presented before me. We will see. But I would hold my breath on it. I was actually really happy to start independent. Just for the freedom of it, since it gives me a lot more creativity in when I stream and what I stream, and also, where are you? You are there? Too low. Hold up. I'll get back to that question in a second. Nope. No, that was too high. It's French go-kart, and he's got every advantage at range. And I don't think there's anyone on the other side of that. Right, oh, Tiger. That was to be expected. Man, I completely forgot how garbage the reverse speed on this is. That is awful. Oh, man. Which also, speaking of reverse speeds, that's a game that I came from a while ago. Because originally I started playing on World of Tanks. And I like how many times you'll see people do one of these to try to get you. Nope, that's bad. We'll do that to try to get you to fire early rather than expose themselves. Darn cats. Yes, you're actually going to be a lot more useful here.
We've got to counterattack.
You know, and that's something that I've never actually been able to put my finger on, is obviously with HoloLive English, you know, they're spawn camping and I should not go that way. That would be a mistake. Yep. Okay, well... Blah. That's not great. Run. 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 just for good measure. Anyways, back to what I was saying. So obviously, you know, they're native speakers of English, but as for location, I'm not really sure, honestly, how many of them are Western locale and not. I have no idea what HoloLive's intents are for expanding HoloLive English. I mean, without a question, it did them well, but how far they're going to go with it, I have no idea, and this is not good for me. I may be able to annoy the tiger, but that's... Oh, there's a lot going on here. Break his gun, break his gun, break his gun, break his gun, break his gun. Yay. Break his gun, break his gun, break his gun. No. I'm not even going to bother trying to put out that fire. We're going for broke now. I've lost all my gunners. Yeah, I have no idea. I've never looked that much into it. I am not going to bother respawning because they're already shooting into our spawn. Ugh. This is now exactly reminding me of why I don't play so much low-tier US. In fact, I'm going to abandon you altogether. You have disappointed me beyond repair. Mid-tier United States. Nino Germany still isn't my favorite. Actually, 6-7 is probably my favorite BR, and that's going back to that the Panther 2 is by far my favorite. But I do like 9.0 a lot, especially for that G91. And also another map that I actually like. And the side that I like, I would actually almost say that both sides are pretty comparable on Cargo Port. I think it needs to be this game mode. I think any of the single cap versions of Cargo Port are terrible. But 3-point, I can be pretty happy on either side of it. And I think we're fighting everybody. Yeah, we're fighting everybody. Oh, thermals. There you go. The KBZ-70 is also a vehicle I somewhat miss because I had that on my lineup for a while up until they put it to 9.3. Because I didn't feel that 9.3 justified how often then you end up seeing the Abrams and stuff. Because the rest of the lineup doesn't warrant, in my opinion. I liked it a lot though, and especially the cannon on top of it is quite money. But the rest of it is kind of meh. Also, its ability to reverse as fast as it can go forward is pretty top-notch as well. Okay.
Attention to the designated grid square.
So far, so good down the lane. And that one medium tank is going way out there. And good. Over there, on the other side of the ocean-going crate. That was a mistake. Thermals on this thing does not help. And mark. Damn it. It's a BMP. BMP and a Sergeant York. Yeah, War Thunder is a game that very much has ebbs and flows to it for me. There are some nights where it's always pretty decent to me, and other times where that is not remotely the case. And despite that it can be an incredibly frustrating game, it is still something I enjoy to a very large amount. Yay. You were thinking of the SU-100 or SU-100Y, is the Russian casemate tank destroyer that has a naval gun on it. I also nice. He's got a friend. Oh, maybe not. Hold up. It's for some reason it's in my mind that the that's dead. Not the T-10. That there's another Russian tank that ended up having a naval gun in it, besides the SU-100Y. But for the life of me, I can't think of what it was. For some reason, I want to say T-10. Not going that way. But I really can't be sure on it. Let's see, where are you? Probably over there.
Attention to the map.
Let's see if we can just skate around this. Maybe, maybe, maybe. Yes. Come on, Leopard. That's an ally. I think we might, oops, mostly be in the clear here. Yeah, okay, I think we're somewhat good. Yeah, I see you, L-44, but I don't know what you want from me. And I hate the position I'm in right now.
Allied forces have captured a zone.
I'm assuming... Yeah, what? Yes, I see you. I don't know what you want from me. And I don't want to stick around to hear those bombs. We're gonna go over here now. Ah, maybe that's what he wanted. Where are you? And crewman, because there's not a reason not to. No. Ugh. Cass is always something. Yeah. High tier. Actually, I want to see if I can get that plane. High tier tends to be something else. Definitely without either a premium account or premium vehicles, the grind takes forever. And okay, nice. I would say almost say that grinding high tier can feel a lot less rewarding because of how long it takes in contrast to grinding lower tiers. Obviously with the combination of RP and that everything is more expensive, so even after you unlock something, it doesn't mean you can even buy it right away. I mean, it's... Ooh, where's that? Okay. Left or right? KK. Wait a minute, there you are.
Attention to the designated grid
Did he bail completely? Nope, that's not. Oh, it is? Okay. Yeah, I saw the warrior die, but... And we'll get rid of APDS then. Actually, no, that's... No, I should actually keep that loaded. Especially when I'm inside the cities. Type 89 near B. And looks like the leopard is getting messed up. Or he's popping smoke for fun, either one. Let's see. Bum 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 bum. I have no idea why he did that. In fact, he's leaving now, so maybe he just did actually do it for fun, rather than because he was fighting someone. And I see something on my radar. Clear. I forgot you had your Puma on this lineup. Which I am quite sad that I ended up not getting the bollocks 20mm Puma. Because that thing is so gross in so many ways. I'm not gonna team kill that defenseless little Puma. Maybe if I had Nords, actually, I would. Just to send a message. Is that the same one? Are you trying to tell me that the Puma was no match for the Chieftain? Okay, we're good. Oops. Come on, Chieftain. Come on, Chieftain. Where are you? Fire! Alright, something is definitely off to our right. I don't know what, though. That was a mistake. Card. I know there was an SPAA that was at B, and I'm curious if it's that Type 87 that's firing. There's a light tank at B as well. We're gonna follow Scapard. He's gonna be somewhat shield, somewhat teammate. Let's go ahead and get a decap started. And cheese it. And the Capard got the Type 89. Nice. Man, this is all just capping points at this point. No pun intended. Wait, why do you hate the Puma? Well, actually, I'm not even going to ask why you hate the Puma, because I can understand why someone would hate the Puma. And that Jagdtiger has an uphill battle. Oh, man. That is one chunky boy. But I commend him for bringing a Jagdtiger all the way up here. Yeah, The Puma is definitely... Oh, the Type 87 is around. The Puma is definitely an annoying vehicle. I don't think it performs incredibly well. The 20mm version is out, obviously dirty because Russian 20mm, or not Russian, German 20mm. But as the other variants, I wish I had the Pack Puma. I will say that 100%, because that thing is, I yeah, I know he's somewhere over there, but I don't see him, and I don't want to let him know that I'm here. Miss. That was a mistake. That was a mistake. That was a mistake. Oh. No, 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 you don't. Alright. Flap. That was what 100% a ghost round. Stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. I am nothing short of astounded that I am still in one piece. We're gonna fix that. Naval actually isn't something I've played in such a long time. And that partially has to do with I started to get frustrated with how War Thunder had mapped the ammo racks on all of the Hipper class ships because they're insanely easy to get their belts to detonate. It much easier than any other ship in my opinion that's of comparable weight class. And I always, for a while, I was watching very closely to see if they'd ever correct it. And I think at one point recently they did. I think I remember seeing them talking about the belt armor for those ships. But I still haven't gone back to it because there's just a lot of things that are just not nearly as desirable about Naval in my opinion. I think it unfortunately is the red-headed stepchild of War Thunder game modes, and because of that they give it so little attention. And I see where he is now, but I don't know if I'll make it there before the game ends. Flap. No. Yeah, that was all just caps. Also, I really like the Radkampfwagen. She's just so expensive to lose. It is such an expensive vehicle to get destroyed. And that's always another thing I always find interesting is Gaijin's way of balancing by making things super, super, super expensive to the point where you can't always justify playing them because you'll just be losing money non-stop through your matches. And it's one of the reasons why I always consider replacing the Radkampfwagen with the Leopard A5 now that they added it, especially since it gets the same round plus thermals. But then at the same time, the Radkampfwagen is just too fun. It's a speedy boy. And Korea's an okay map. I actually prefer this side of Korea, so I'll take it. Wah, 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 wah. Yeah, that was also another thing about Naval is I personally think the aiming in it ends up being kind of glitchy. So I set the mouse wheel to change ranging, so it's a bit faster to change ranging, it's a bit easier to change ranging. But hold up, wait a minute, I gotta do this now. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Don't crash, but turn Bakelite and on the road. It does show up in thermal. Why? Oops. Why? Why would you ever want that to be a thing that shows up in thermal? And I'm making traffic. I'm making an absolute traffic jam now. That. Okay. That is a myth confirmed. Well, not really a myth. My theory. That's theory confirmed. That's something War Thunder would do. That I guess on paper, theoretically, it wouldn't hurt you that much. Because, you know, the whole rest of your tank is showing up on thermals. But when you're, you know, beneath the line or horizon line of a wall or something, and now you got a sparkler showing up over your hull, maybe that's not the best call. Maybe they know something I don't. Sorry, teammates. I'm trying. We're slow in water. And that is very nice of you to say that I seem like an enjoyable person to play games with. I try to not get too feisty about this game, seeing that it can be very aggravating at times. And I hear a tank to our left. So now we wait. Maybe not. Hold up. I'm hesitant to push up because actually he might be on A. Since we're getting really knockered on up there, I don't want to get shot by the bridge. But then again, if we hold it, let's see. That's. You know. Back up, back up. I gotta turn thermal off. That is absolutely blinding. What is that? Alright, well, we're stuck. We'll see. We'll see if a teammate will help with this endeavor. They're kind of helping. My worst fear of getting shot from that ridge has been confirmed. Well, that wasn't even from the ridge. Blah. Ooh, I can't help myself. And I don't understand the comment of imagine being so lazy of letting radar do your job for you. I feel like that's kind of the entire point of the radar. Yeah, I was happy to see that they separated the trees a little bit more. It definitely was a step in the right direction. And I feel like I'm going to get shot down by a Sergeant York at any moment. And blep. No, nope, okay, well, I am so bad at flying that thing. I should have just fired both missiles. I should also pay attention to what I'm doing. Fool. The Object 279 is always a fan favorite. A fan favorite that defies a lot of reason in its operation. Okay. We'll just skirt. Ooh. Shocking that. Shocking that. That I'd like to actually hear what you guys have to say about that. A yay, nay, whether you think that Gaijin did the right move by allowing MGs that are between the caliber of 50 to, let's say, the 13mm that the Dishka uses, whether that should be capable of knocking out main guns, especially when we're talking about shooting. There are a lot of planes I'm not paying attention to. When it comes to shooting directly at the cannon, not... Yep. Directly at the cannon, not from a... like an oblique angle. At least at 90 degrees. At 90 degrees, I could stomach it more. But firing directly on and knocking out a gun, I'm curious what you guys have to say about that. Who did put that mountain there? Surely not I. It is not, it was not my most graceful moment. It was certainly not my most graceful moment. I really don't want to go out there. But I kind of don't have a choice. Let's do that so we can pretend we're helping and a contributing member of society on this team. And switch to APDS. Because now we're just going to play Tank Hunter. This is really dumb. Can I break this and go under it? No. No, I cannot. Blah. Alright, hopefully we don't get shot trying to cross this. I'd be astounded. My astoundness is raising. I am now fully astounded. Any idea what's on C? Or if they're actually... Okay. To the river, then. And hopefully other people are shooting down planes, because I am not. Man. Go, Leopard. Go, Leopard chassis.
Enemy forces have captured a zone.
And... almost...
And victory will be ours.
Where are you? Okay. He pilots as well as I do. I kind of don't want to just break this, but I don't really have a choice. He's gonna come behind me. I know it. I know it. We're gonna go over here. We'll at least decap that. Where are you, XM? There you are, XM. Rough. Alright, no. We're done. And that's how it goes sometimes. I will never claim to be an absolute MVP of this game. Mediocre? Now we're kind of starting to hit close when we use the word mediocre to describe how I play this game. Maybe a little above mediocre. It is something I need to actually apply to. I just haven't gotten a... yay, night map! I just haven't gone around to it. I mean to apply, but I wanted to at least, A, get some content out so I could feel justified. You know what? No, we'll stick with this. Get some content out to justify the request And then at the same time, also, you know, at least make sure that it's something that my fans would have or viewers would have an interest in doing. Because at the very least, I do want to keep doing streams that you all will enjoy. And while I love War Thunder, watching me be mediocre at War Thunder isn't always what people want to see. So that's why I was kind of holding off on the content creator side of it. But, you know, seeing how the next few days go, since I'm going to try to keep doing this same time slot each day, and also see about working into getting YouTube at the same time when it's being less feisty with me, because being super feisty with me for a while, and then look into doing it. I would be lying if I didn't say that part of my motivation in doing the War Thunder content creator is for the special decal. That is definitely a motivating factor. Honestly, the best way to get into War Thunder, that's kind of a tough one. Because like I said earlier, I started in World of Tanks, and I played that up until I had tier 10 for Russia, tier 7 or so for Germany, if I recall correctly, and then I had US like tier 5 or so. And so I was playing World of Tanks a lot, and then I decided, hey, I used to really like flight games, and I'd like to get back into playing flight games. So I downloaded World of Planes, and it was awful. I'm sorry for anyone in chat who likes World of Warplanes, but I thought it was awful. And so I originally played Birds of Steel, which is actually the game that War Thunder is based off of. Birds of Steel is where War Thunder started, and then they went from there. So I played Birds of Steel for a while, and then after I had learned that it's where War Thunder had developed from, I decided to try out War Thunder. I was playing War Thunder Planes for a really long time, and then I decided to try out Armor, because, you know, I'm playing the game, why not? And I liked it a lot more than World of Tanks, specifically because it's not hit points. It is by modules, it is by crew that you do damage, which just spoke heavily to me. And these explosions are making it hard to spot, guys. Let me turn off the engine. So I just got into it from there and just really enjoyed it. As for getting started, that sounds like an Abrams engine. It sounds like a turbine. I would honestly could only recommend starting at a country that you think you'd enjoy. I will 100% say that France at low tier is terrible and very hard to enjoy. Ooh, wait a minute, I can kill that. Oh god, he had a friend. That is one of the few times I do well in this game. Anyway, French low tier is pretty rough. I liked US low tier because once you get things with 50s on them, they're pretty brutal. Like the 50 can penetrate a lot of stuff. German low tier is also pretty good when you get to the Panzer II, because the Panzer II has the autocannon and can absolutely tear people up. So, yay. That's always a good thing. Germany, besides where I am right now, because the only thing about Germany at this BR is you're fighting a lot of like T-72s, Abrams, and stuff that are much better armored than what you have. Like, because the early Leopards aren't armored at all. In the traditional sense. Because they won't stop anything. But for most BRs, Germany does pretty well you know, as you can see earlier when I was getting hassled by Teekers and stuff, that, you know, most of the time they do decent. Especially now that the H1 dropped to 5.3, if I recall correctly. That was definitely a decent buff to Germany. And I hate these flares. They're absolutely blinding. I was reading. I should have not stopped to read. Blet. Leopard. That is a perfect example of me turning away to read. Yeah. There we go. So, that would be my core suggestion is look at what lineup, like country you'd want to play long term, and just start there and I guess see what you start liking about it. Because almost every country, there are definitely a few that don't exist, or they're less common, have bad points in their BR range. I would say the real powerhouse BR, I have no idea why I'm driving down the middle of the map, is Russia at, no. Okay, we'll go with it. Is Russia at the 4.0 to like 4.7 range, where you have the KV-1, you have, hold up, is that alive? It is. And then you have a plethora of T-34s to play with. That is a very good BR. There's typically not really anything you can complain about that BR for Russia. But like I said, I used to love 7.3 with the IS-3, but that's not promising. But as of late, find it a bit harder to enjoy because of how often you're fighting vehicles that are more modern, especially with the IS-3. It kind of requires that, you know, you can take advantage of that. It uses traditional armoring techniques to do what it does. I think I saw a shot come from over here. So when you have like a lot of heat, HESH, and things that ignore that, you don't do nearly as well. This is awful. We're gonna do that. Now I can't see. Why, Gaijin? Alright, where are you? Oh, dead. Yay. I hope that... yeah, it's an allied helicopter. And... there. Alright, we need to fix stuff. I have no idea what shot me, but it did quite a number on my vehicle and crew and everything. Yeah, Britain does very well for a lot of the time. Typically, at most BR spreads, they have something that can deal with something. It's not like you ever really get left out to dry with Britain. Gosh, and I know they're pretty decent. They have a lot of neat tricks in their up their sleeve at like this BR. Italy is a slog most of the time. I like Italy as a meme, because Italy was a meme in real life and is in this game. But then, at the same time, the very late game Italian vehicles... okay. The very late game Italian vehicles, like the automatic and their MBT... I'm going to actually put a flag in that. The automatic before it suffered hull break. Once it suffered hull break, that definitely hurt it some. But regardless, those are two very good vehicles for where they are. But then you have to grind Italy to get there. And Italy is Italy. Like, it is... I like Italy on paper. Italy is nice to look at and kind of, you know, like, oh, you know, hey, that's pretty quaint. That's a quaint idea, Italy. Good job. And put a little star on, you know, their chest. But most of the time, it's just a rough time playing Italy. I mean, you got like the Brenda gun motor carriage is awful in all sorts of ways. It's, you know, the same thing that caused me to have issues with the M8. You know, the fact that it's a wheeled chassis and it lacks maneuverability on something that's casemate. That's a real rough time. But that's kind of how it is Italy most of the time, you know, for a country that spent most of World War II on its back legs. Italian planes are typically quite good, though. Last kill, I'll take it. It is... So it actually hasn't happened yet, but it is fairly common that if I knock out an enemy's main gun, that's an I win situation. I am fairly confident that when I knock out their cannon breach or their gun, that is an I win situation. And there are many times I will say bonsai and drive straight out there with the attempt of finishing them off. Sometimes it works. Not always. Yeah. Shermans are also, like, I feel Shermans get a tad underrated because of where they sit in the BR spread and some of the things they fight. And the fact that, you know, most things that have the long 7.5 or the 56 of the 88, so not the later model of it, you know, those obviously go straight through the front plate of the Sherman. But if you actually look at what its effective armor is, it wasn't bad at all. It's just that Germany had a lot of hole punchers, and it makes it, you know, by comparison, look pretty shoddy. That is a stream I would actually like to do at some point. It's just full lineup of Shermans, nothing else, and just basically play Fury with hopefully better results than what I was doing earlier. Like, I like the A3 a lot, especially because the 76 will punch through the upper glacis of the Tiger at a decent range. I mean, he's always going to go through you, but it's not as one-sided. As one-sided as like if you've got the 75. But I still play a lot of Germany. Capping is a terrible idea, so I'm not going to. I like the Bakelite a lot, but it's misleading because it's not fast, it's not well armored, it's not any smaller than a Leopard. It's basically, for all intents and purposes, as I'm gonna phrase it, it's a Leopard that has the Bofors on it, because it's basically meeting all the same marks. You know, I was saying when I first... Nice, that's a good early kill. When I first got it, I was hoping that it was going to be like an RU-251 in speed and niftiness, and I am lucky that missed. And I lost track of him. There's a winter camo tank that just crossed over. That one did not miss. So he is somewhere on our side of C. I'm gonna fix this. Yeah. Definitely the ability to just pump out Shermans was a good feather in its cap. And that's actually a very interesting topic, specifically because, and I don't remember who the historian was. Forgive me, I cannot recall his name. But he brought forth the idea that the Sherman wasn't actually any more, I think that's somebody, yep, wasn't actually any more reliable than any other tank. It was just the fact that they had so many spare parts to play with. Oh yeah, just a track, that's useful. Cheese it. That they had so many spare parts and how easy it was to replace parts on the Sherman. But in terms of if you just looked at general reliability, it wasn't actually that much more than others. I think that's a perfect example of taking something with a grain of salt, because obviously the early Panther and the King Tiger were wildly unreliable for all intents and purposes. Oh, darn. Darn. Rude. That was very rude. Yeah, leopard.
Attention to the map!
There will always be history lessons. As long as it is relevant to something that is happening, there will be history lessons. And we have completely lost this side. Darn you, Swede. I can probably actually still make good use of this position. I don't think they've pushed up so far as to where I can't yet. But we are doing very bad on this side of the map. Hello, Bakelite Carcass. Left. Miss. I was all wrong. I'm avenging myself. Darn that BMP. Oh, War Thunder.
Let's keep the pressure on. Victory is close.
Other Gepard. Where are you, BMP? It's to the left? Oh. Good to know. I do not like that smoke up there. Oh, did he go all the way back over there? No, he's right there. I see him on the map. Hold up. We're hunting this BMP. We got a debt to settle. Where are you? Man, he is so... Oh, wait. Yay! Alright, I can die happy now. Alright, there is a bunch of people watching our spawn on this side. And I'm willing to bet my APDS is going to be too little, too late. Man, this was a real bad one for our team. Maybe we should change rounds. Where is the enemy? And allied plane. Hmm. 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 Nope. I don't know if that was necessarily deserving of a crew lock. Maybe. Whenever you're ready. Or are you still in? I have a very, very strong opinion about the Sten. Specifically, if you ever get a chance, try to load the magazines by hand. It is an absolute Herculean feat to load a Sten magazine by hand because of how much spring tension the follower is on. It's ridiculous. I don't know why it was ever thought to be a good idea. And BAP. It was a pretty mediocre SMG if I recall correctly. Like, I don't remember it really dropping any panties to say. Like, the Enfield was a good rifle, and if I remember correctly, the Bren was also not bad. But definitely one of the issues that Britain faced for a while, especially when it came to armor development, is you had a lot of the time where you'd have MGs that were chambered in 303 British, but then you also had the, what are they, Brendas? Whatever the other LMG that Britain would use. That's also chambered in another round. If I remember correctly, it's actually chambered in 7.92. And so you'd have all these massive logistical issues because of it. Probably not their best move. But the Sten is atrocious. And the Panzerfaust, in my opinion, came a little too late to have as much of an effect as it could have. I mean, when you're talking about something that it was easily crew, or not even crew portable, just single person portable, and had as much punch as it did, I think it was a good weapon. It's just it came too late to have any notable effect, which is kind of a reoccurring theme with a lot of things that Germany did, that it was too little too late. And I don't even remember what their development process was that. And 8.
Allied forces have captured the zone.
What is that? Oh, it's a Rodkampfwagen. No wonder it got there so quickly. Ooh. So, I'm curious, what kind of Garand do you have? I have a 1941 AX code Car 98. And I've always wanted to get a Garand, especially... yeah, a Striker. Especially one of the International Harvester models. A, because there's so few of them, which is kind of neat. B, they're just a very... Thanks for that. A very good version of the M1 Garand, if I recall correctly. They're definitely a good make of it. International Harvester also makes some neat vehicles like the Scout. And the other one that's eluding my memory. Let's hopefully not get shot by the Striker again. Ooh, wait a minute. No, too far. There we go. Yeah, I really like collecting rifles. The other one that I have that is of any interest is an SGL-21, which is one of the import from the Arsenal factory in Russia, AK-47Ms. So that was produced between like 2016. And that's a rifle I really like because it's got pretty good, you know, it's got good. Actually, because it's got pretty decent, you know, quality overall, and I've actually never had an issue with that rifle whatsoever. I like it a lot. Oh, it's post-war. I see. I see. Yeah, there's a lot of the post-war imports that you can get. Like I also had an M1 carbine, which I really don't like the M1 carbine. The 30 carbine round is powerful weak, and is powerful weak, and then because I'm left-handed, every round I fire out of an M1 carbine always hits me in the forehead because of how its ejector is placed. And that is partially the reason why I've also been so hesitant to get a M1 Garand, because my concern was that it can be the same thing, except now I'd just be eating 30-06 to the face, which is pretty undesirable. Mauser. The Mauser was its own thing entirely. It's truly a... I'm actually amazed, you know, and that's one of the things I never looked that much into, is why Germany developed the Mauser like they did. Specifically that better have been a teammate. Specifically because it wasn't known to them that artillery is very oftenly used to kill tanks, especially slow tanks. You know, you're going after top deck armor with a 75, it's gonna hurt. So I don't know why they thought something so slow and such a big target was really the money move. That's dead. You know, I guess it says enough of how, you know, they only built 2. I have no idea what they were spotting out here. And I'm willing to bet it's going to end up killing me, because I don't know what they were spotting out here. Ooh, wait a minute. Fight! There we go. Where is the HS? Okay. Our left side or their left side? Got it. Ooh, wait a minute. I might have seen his smoke. Yep, I think I see where he is. The Gepard's fighting him. Oh no, that's a Sergeant York. Hold up, the Sergeant York is a concern of mine. Oh, wait a minute. Bap. Alright. Well, if it's not one thing, it's something else. Yes. So, funnily enough, yeah, Hitler definitely liked, you know, always went on that bigger was better. He also, and I don't even remember why this is the case, had a huge love of the Stug. Like, a lot of the Stug development, or where it ended up versus if it was in the Panzerwaffe or in the artillery arm, had a lot to do with that. And that's where you also see the development of the Stug versus the Stu 42 in serving those different roles. He had a huge fascination with the... Hold up. We're just gonna... No, we're not. I didn't even notice I lost both my missiles in that. Yeah, he really liked the Stug, and that's one of those ones where it's actually rightfully so. Because reliability-wise, it was good. It had a good gun, and it was a pretty universally well-liked vehicle, if I recall correctly. And it was one of those things that was capable of doing the majority of what you needed it to do without, encountering too many issues in it. It wasn't something like the Tiger or the Panther where it had the same amount of reliability issues. And it wasn't like the Jagdpanther, where the Jagdpanther, despite that it fixed a lot of the reliability issues that the regular Panther had, it wasn't great at anything except in the defensive, and German doctrine actually represented that pretty heavily, that the Jagdpanther was basically used in the defensive role, and it was only supposed to operate in specified unit sizes, and we're not going to go that way because they just killed the 272. An Intrepid Wolf died, and we don't need any more wolves dying over there. Yeah, the Stug is a neat vehicle. Especially in its development history, is pretty neat. God, the A7D. Where are you? I don't know where that Abrams wannabe is, but he's definitely looking off in this direction. I'm trying, game. I'm trying to put more pressure on the enemy. Alright, I do not see him. Which really is not saying much. Nope, that's the dead. So. Yep. 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 No. Black. And back to the bagel. I actually don't know as much about the Stuka's development history. I know that it that it definitely suffered in comparison to a lot of its counterparts, considering how many got shot down by Spitfires and Hurricanes. But early war, I'm pretty sure it was doing a good job of what it was designed to do. Late war, a lot less of that. Actually, one of my favorite stories about Stukas and their role was, what is that tank commander's name? Hold up. Karius. Karius actually talks about an operation they had when they were doing a counteroffensive against the Soviets, and so they had actually organized to have. God, the BT-1 is ugly. They had actually organized to have Stuka support. So the whole plan for the operation. Please don't do that. You're making this very hard to drive now. Thank you for that. The whole point of the operation was that the Stukas were supposed to provide the air cover for infantry that was going to push forward and take the Soviet positions on the other side of the Rolban while they were supported by armor. Despite being a Tiger commander, the spearhead was primarily formed of Panzer IVs, by their company commander. Anyways, so the Stukas came in first to do their job, and A, they didn't destroy any of the Russian fortifications, and then B, they did destroy the road, though, that the Panzer IVs needed to move up, and therefore the Panzer IVs could only provide distant cannon fire for an assaulting infantry. The attack ended up working, luckily enough for them. But at the very least, Hermann Göring's contributions to the operation were not well liked, is the way I'm going to phrase that. Alright, let's see what our team's going to do for a minute. I don't want to get shot from the ridge again. So if we're on A, we're just going to sneak up a little bit. I am concerned by the lack of people I am seeing. So either they heavily fortified C, or they are laying in wait. And I hear cannon fire at the other end of this village. Rough. I don't trust this at all.
Our victory is near.
I wish I had smoke. Ooh, 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 ooh. That is not useful. That is not useful at all, Big Light. Hold up. You are right there? Nope, I missed. Let's at least do that. And... I can't really cross this now. That is quite unfortunate. Are you still there? Yes, you are. I am blind. I am absolutely blind for not seeing that chieftain. Yeah, failed successfully is quite the way to put it. I don't remember if they ended up having choice words to say with the person who was in charge of the Stukas for that operation, but to say the least, they were unamused. It wasn't like... And that's one of the things that I find fascinating, how often Torque stuff ends up happening akin to that. Like another great story on the Russian front, and also terrifying at the same time, was obviously they would use captured Russian equipment, tanks, vehicles, fire, miss. And so they would commonly use that. Let's try this again. No, what did I hit that time? If I hit the tree, I swear. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Track. Missile. That's a shameful thing to die to. That also explains why I was doing nothing to it. I gotta pay more attention to what I'm doing here. Anyways, so they would use Russian captured equipment, and they sent two T-34s that they had captured out on patrol, you know, as you would normally do, except maybe with T-34s. And when they came back, it was like dusk, about nighttime. Anyways, the problem was that at night you couldn't see the Bundeswehr that was painted on the hull or the turret sides, so as soon as they came back, they were immediately both knocked out by PaK-40 crews that were guarding the front line because they didn't realize that they were, you know, German comrades in there. They thought they were just, hey, look at these stupid T-34s rolling up on us. Anyways, apparently after that event, everyone in Autocarius's unit refused to crew captured Soviet vehicles at the fear of getting knocked out by Allied crews, because they, weren't able to tell that, hey, that's actually our T-34, it's not a Soviet T-34. It also, like, friendly fire is an absurdly common thing that happens. And I hear a helicopter. But I don't see a helicopter. So we're going to switch back to DS. Alright, where is he? I think he's right on the other side of this house, actually. Or no, he's not, because no one's capping. And that's dead too. Alright, let's go cap.
Defend the C point.
Ah, no, 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 no. Okay. We're just gonna take that for what it is.
Grid zone.
It. I should pay attention to what I'm doing again. I swear I hear something. Where are you, helicopter? There you are, helicopter. Whatever, I'll take a kill assist, that's fine. And I got my APDS back. And I wish I had my APDS loaded. Yeah, I got so many backups of you. So, okay. Quick aside here. One of the other games that I play a lot is Bolt Action. And I did not deserve a kill assist on that chieftain. But anyways, it's Bolt Action. And so, Russian Dog Bombs is actually a unit that you can take in Bolt Action. And I don't remember the RNG for it, but it is basically that you're 20% likely that it'll actually do its job. 60% likely that it's just gonna run away or blow up in transit, and 20% likely it actually kills an allied vehicle instead. The Russians have their own, or not, sorry, the Russians, because the Russians have the dog bombs. The Germans have their own variant that you can take the Goliath anti-tank bombs, and while those don't have a chance of accidentally killing allies instead, they have a high likelihood of never making it to target. Which makes sense, because they were garbage.
Keep it up and victory will be ours.
Do, 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 do. No, 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 no. This is real bad. You stop that too. Alright, we're just gonna... I guess we'll chill here.
We've captured most of the strategic.
Nope. Watson! Twice. No, they have too much SPA. I want to take the 262 up, but they have too much SPA. It'll just be dead right quick.
Another zone captured. We have the advantage.
Ooh. So, Luftwaffe ground forces are also an area of interest. I know there was another story of that Luftwaffe. I'm driving terribly. Ground units, because they did actually have ground troops, had come up to the Eastern Front, and this is when they had the MG42s, they had the new packs, they basically had all the hot new kid on the block. Die, you. Or engine radiator, I guess that's fine too, War Thunder. There we go. All the hot new toys on the block, and then they got attacked by the Russians and immediately abandoned all of it. And so apparently on the front for a long while, if you ever heard an MG42 firing, you were basically guaranteed that it was actually a Russian shooting it. It wasn't within the hands of a German unit. Which that is... Thank you, tree. Mighty embarrassing. I don't know where that missile came from. I'm willing to bet it's the Warrior, which doesn't really make me feel any more comfortable. Because I think there's also another chieftain there. Yep. No, that's a plane. Stop it. Not my wheels. Right there? Nope. He's somewhere over there. I wish I had my cheater vision. But alas, I do not deserve thermals in this life. Where are you, warrior? Flap. That was expected. Burn! Burn! I hope he burns out. Working out. As for this moment, it's been a while. It's been a while. When I was actually still active, it was basically all the time. Because not only just like obviously PT in the mornings, but also just on my own volition. Especially since PT isn't as much of like getting swole as it is just a lot of cardio and burpees. I have no idea why they love burpees. They're awful. But for some reason, there is an absolute love of burpees and doing them in the service. I'll never understand why, because they're a miserable exercise that achieves very little. God, actually, I remember a specific time that I did something dumb, and what exactly I did dumb, we'll leave it that. But I got told to do burpees until my SART instructor got tired. And that was basically until I couldn't do them. And the worst part about it wasn't like this was, you know, just getting IT'd or incentive training. You know, randomly, it was right before a run. It was like right before a long run, and I just knew that was about to be a bad time. And it was. Unsurprisingly, it was terrible. We're gonna go ahead and let our allies go first, because we're just that generous. We're gonna go up here for a second. And maybe die immediately, I don't know. We'll see how this plays out. Idle, idle, idle. Alright, ooh, that looks like a baddie. And it's already been scouted. Let's see if he wants to come this way. Maybe, maybe not. Nah, it looks like he's gonna sit over there. Oh, wait. Wait. No? Okay, yeah, he's just hanging out over there. This isn't going anywhere. I'm gonna go try to help our L-44, unless this bagel's gonna do it. That bagel's gonna do it. Right there. Or not? I could swear that was an enemy. I don't like this at all. Bradley? Disappeared. Ah, no, I see him, I see him. He's sitting at like Charlie 4, maybe Bravo 4. Alright. RNG! Nope. Da-da-da-da-da. That one is kind of BS. I am amazed the Type 74 soaked that well. Astounded. So, as I said earlier, I actually was an armor officer. As for what service, I'm curious by your quotation marks that exist in that statement. Thermal. You see that light tank coming up behind you? And those light tanks in front of you. And once again behind you. I'm assuming that was the BMP. That was to the back. Okay. Point. BMP dead. What was on the other side of the hill? Okay. Oh, I already did that. Bleh. I don't see anything to me. Oh, wait a minute. All these dead tanks. Yeah, he's over there somewhere, but I cannot see him. Nothing to the left. Nothing to the right, to the best of my knowledge. Yep. Where are you, baddie? Is that it? Yep, that's it. Yep. Huh. So I got a standoff with him. He's right here. I really don't want to risk that one. How to. Screw it. Alright, he got my gun and I missed entirely. Full reverse. Hide behind the dead bodies. He's probably gonna get to me faster than you can flank. Or maybe not. Oh, nope, nope, nope. He's trying. He's trying. And his artillery tracked me. This is the worst outcome. Hey, friend. Hey, buddy. What's up? Are you also tracked by your own artillery? Ow. Kill steal. Yay. Thank you. Yeah, hold up, hold up.
Attention to the designated grid square.
That was rough. Okay. Yeah, the hill is an absolute graveyard. Makes it Navigation City. Okay. I was just curious because of the quotation marks you'd put around it. Nice. That one, if you don't mind, I'm actually going to go ahead and keep to myself at this moment. Artillery? Specifically because... no one. I don't want the association, necessarily. You know, I absolutely loved the part... I've got a ZSU right over here. I loved the part that I was in, but I don't necessarily want that kind of thing. This was a mistake. That rock. Want that necessarily associated with me when it comes to streaming. And I feel it's one of the lesser important parts. Krankenwagen. Krankenwagen is ambulance, and that's German and non-war related. Do I get credit for that one? We can switch to German for a little bit. My German, again, is so pretty bad. I studied it for 3 years, and my third year, my instructor for it, basically all we did was watch movies. I don't actually remember ever learning German in my third year. I'm 90% sure it was all movie-based. So things that I remember off the top of my head would be things like Was machst du? And Ich heiße Graf Yuko. But like very, very minor bits of it, because it's not something I've practiced regularly. Like, I've practiced Japanese more, and my Japanese is still far from good. That is another thing I'm mediocre at. And I don't know where these guys went. And I'm not gonna be so stupid as to do the exact same thing twice. We'll do something worse and just... well, no, I'm totally gonna get stuck if I do that. Hello, Leopard. That is an absolute amazing thing that they're watching that just came over your mic, Danny. No, I don't care. That was a rather amusing thing to randomly come over. I don't know where they are actually. Hold up. We're gonna take this brief moment of peace to read. I am absolutely sure my accent is incredibly thick. There is so the German word for arbitrator slash judge is Richter, and one of my friends who actually lives in Germany, you know, and by that point speaks it fluently, I was asking him how it was pronounced if you do the CH the way you do it, and as I said it, like Reich. His immediate response was telling me that I was an idiot, and neither of those words are pronounced like that, and it's just because the CH sound in German is different, and we don't know how to pronounce it. That was to a T what I was told, which is how I got to the point of that it's, you know, Reich and Richter would be the correct pronunciation of those words. But, you know, is another perspective of how bad my German is, not only because of lack of use, but also because of my instructors for it. My first 2 years, I had the same instructor. It was the same woman. And she 100% switched der, die, and das for, you know, your the articles depending on feminine, masculine, and neutral. So for the longest time, she got der correctly, but she switched das and die. So for the longest time, I just had those completely. Completely wrong. Are you still in or are you out? We'll check. Oh, okay, then I'm just, yeah. I'm not too hypey on just driving around in Le Gepard. Jerry Gepard. Yay, money. Yeah, my pronunciation of that is not good, is the way that I would put it. And I'm not entirely sure why that first instructor got it wrong. Because she was German, if I remember. You know, and honestly, this might just be me making assumptions because of her last name, because she had a German last name. But for all I know, that was a married name, or maybe her maiden name, but she never actually grew up in Germany. Because yeah, that really threw me. I mean, when I took my first German test, 3rd year, and I absolutely lost everything points-wise just to the articles. Rough. It was very rough. That was a hard learning experience. And goes to show you about taking things, you know, for granted. Like that your teacher is teaching you correctly. Yeesh. Puma! What is that? Motoum. Ugh. TMLs. I feel about TMLs the way you feel about Pumas, especially when they first came into the game. Oh, man. No. Also, they are gonna cap A super fast. I probably shouldn't have slowed down, taken time to ram that Puma. I know I don't go fast. Come on. Nope. No, I'm not gonna make it. Nope. Actually, no, I was gonna say I think my Russian is actually better than my German, but I think they're pretty much on par now because I haven't used it forever. Привет, как дела? Ночива Sarashnava. Yeah, that one, that's been a long time since I've actually spoken Russian. And the main ones I remember, like, Yeznayu. Which is, yeah, I know, I get it. Soka. Oops. You want to tow me backwards? Yay! Thank you, that's... Never... Oh, he is way over there. Hold up. I'm probably gonna burn out to this. I can't pull out a flame or another fire extinguisher in time, I don't think. Maybe, 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 maybe. Yeah, he's marked. He's right over there. Maybe the righty will get him. Or maybe you'll become a pleek armor for me. Did you? Yeah, Japanese is actually one of the ones that I started learning on my own accord. I'm gonna go get another crew. Well, maybe not, I don't know. This is kind of a bad situation. Is one of the ones I started learning on my own accord, and then I actually have a friend who's from Okinawa, and she started helping me with it. And that was actually probably the most, like, useful thing in terms of correcting a lot of the mistakes I was making in Japanese, because a lot of them were ones that I wouldn't have necessarily known or immediately picked up on. Like, a good example is originally for ordering food, I would say Hitosu ocho kodasai, which would be, you know, a directly tea please. And when we were talking about that, she was like, yeah, you know, technically that's correct, but people don't talk like that, because Hitosu, one, ocha, tea, okodasai, may I have please. No one, you know, obviously says, can I have one tea please? So she was like, the way you'd actually say it would be, I think that was from the left. Hitosu ippai ocho kodasai. Ippai meaning cup of. And I think there's a wo in there too, now I think it would be Hitosu ocho wo ippai kodasai. To actually make it say, hey, can I have a cup of tea, please? So definitely there are times where it's really good to have an instructor, and I can definitely appreciate the having concern about whether you're actually learning it correctly or if they are making mistakes of their own. And that's where the only thing I could really recommend is them being a native speaker is really important there. And I have no idea why I went this way. Because originally that was actually our agreement. She wanted to work on her Japanese, or I wanted to work on my Japanese and she wanted to work on her English. So that's kind of where we got to the point that we were out, was me helping her with that and her helping me with this. But definitely being a native speaker, I think, is one of the more important parts when it comes to who you learn a language from. Because knowing those kind of nuances, and especially how, you know, the word by definition might mean A, but it's really used as B. Samanai is kind of an example of that. Because technically the word is samaranai, which is used for like tedious, something's tedious, but they often shorten samanai and use it for like boring. You know, something like if your friend was like, hey, you know, let's go get a drink or go out and get food or go shopping, and you just weren't feeling that lifestyle, saying samanai would be like, nah, that's a little too boring for my taste. I'm not really feeling it right now. Mendokusai also kind of gets used like that, but that more directly means pain in the ass than it does like boring or tedious. Like it's a bit of a bother. And I could swear I hear a helicopter, and I'm assuming that's a helicopter shooting missiles at you. And I also now see a helicopter, but it's dead already. I tried. I gave it a real good college try.
Attention to the map.
Yeah, well, nah. Wait a minute, no, I haven't used it yet. We're good. We're good. Yeah, kanji is not something I know all that well. I know a very minor amount of kanji. I know a lot more hiragana than I know kanji. As for other games, War Thunder and a lot of other RTSs are really my mainstay of what I normally play, but without question, I do want to play games that you guys would be interested in seeing, or, you know, that kind of stuff. So by all means, I'm happy to accept suggestions on what things you guys would like to see streamed and stuff like that. Actually, someone already asked me that on my Twitter, if I'd be willing to stream like RPG games. And yeah, definitely. Because like I said, I really like Fallout New Vegas. There are a lot of games that fall within that category that I enjoy playing. So I would not be against it in the slightest. And I don't know where that BMP is. It came somewhere from their backfield, probably at Charlie 6 or so. It's dead. Alright. Can you see B at all from where you are? Never mind, it's dead. It was an M60. Alright. Let's just cross. Caution to the wind. Let's at least cap something. I have such mixed feelings about Escape from Tarkov. Because I was playing PlayerUnknown when it was pretty new and was as glitchy as it was. That said, man, Escape from Tarkov is really something else. Between the mechanics for it, the way the shop works, the fact that you don't get teammate markers. I mean, on one hand, I love War Thunder Sim. If queue times were not what they usually are, I'd play Sim all the time. But in something like Escape from Tarkov, especially where you're flap. I wonder why I didn't come up as destroyed since I got that kill. It just seems like it'd be a rather frustrating endeavor. Yeah, like most of those games are ones that I wouldn't mind streaming at all. Rust, I never played that much. DayZ, I played a bit of, but not a, very heavy amount. Definitely of like those options, Fallout is one that I have a lot of hours into. I really like Fallout. Especially every time I would get the Archimedes Death Ray in New Vegas. And then what I found out is that it actually has infinite range. So if you take the anti-material rifle, and say spot some people up on that hill all the way over there that you can't see normally, and then without moving your reticule, just switch to the Death Ray and then fire it, it will hit on target all the way out there and just devastate people at that range. Which I always felt was kind of necessary because, when something has basically the sight range of a pistol, but is a Death Ray and does that kind of dabblage, you kind of don't want it firing at your feet. Man, I would always take that thing. There's also, that's one of the games that I always try to do it a little bit different each time. But I always get so hard pressed to side with Caesar's Legion. I've tried on a couple times to be like, all right, this is gonna be my Caesar Legion's playthrough. I'm actually gonna, stick with them and do their kind of stuff. Nope, never ends up that way. I almost universally every time end up still with NCR or there is I hate dying to M109s or M901s. He's sitting backfield, just launching over rocks. We have hit the peak War Thunder, starting to get annoyed with my own stupidity moments now.
Allied forces have captured a zone.
Gute Nacht. You have a good night. Thank you for stopping by. I'm pretty sure that's right. Since Guten Tag would be a good day, I'm pretty sure that's right. We'll assume unless I get instructed otherwise. Is the M901 still alive in backfield? Okay. Good to know. Let's not fall for the same thing twice.
We're ahead of the enemy.
Where'd that come from? Got it.
Allied forces have captured a zone.
Building. Okay. Surrounded is a bad place to be. Okay, pretty correct. I will take that. I will take a pretty correct. Ugh, T-114. This is not a good one. What was it that was on the other side of the building? A BMP? Ooh, a helicopter. Hold up. Oh, it's dead already. And there. This might be a hard one. Let's see if we can hopefully get some side shots and make use of these rounds.
Attention to the designated grid zone. Allied forces have captured a zone.
Where are you? Where are you? Okay, I definitely heard something get hit to our right.
More effort, and victory will surely be ours. Enemy
Alright, he looks busy.
attention to the designated grid zone.
T-114! No. They're a bastardy little vehicle. Alright, well that's back to hangar. Huh? Oh, you're fine. You're fine. Yeah. That is one thing I will always notice about War Thunder is as the night progresses, it consecutively gets worse. Typically, if I'm playing a BR, that is one I play a decent amount, so I know my vehicles. I can do pretty well throughout the beginning of the night. But once we get to what is becoming late night to me, it becomes rough. I just start to make consecutively bad calls or plays. At the very least, this is not too bad of a map. I actually like the other map too. Despite a lot of people not liking it, I do like that map. I'm just playing kind of poorly. Quite shoddily right now. And there's an M18. And it's an Italian M18. Ugh. Alright, hopefully this Radkampfwagen can act as armor for us. And actually, I have no idea why I'm sticking so far out down the lane. We're gonna bring it in a little bit. Doot, 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 doot. So far so clear. Threw a spot on there. I would like some cap points off of C. And it looks like I should be able to make it. Drifto. Alright, looks like something actually is going to head down that lane. Also, something's on C, so now I can't cap it. Go, Radkampfwagen. Oh no. Nice. Is it just that Sheridan? Alright, what's down this lane? There we are. Thermals are so blinding on the big light. Like, they're always useful to have thermals, but my god, does that Bofors just blind you the minute it opens up. Push. Striker is where? Aye, aye. Radkampfwagen got him, I think. Nope. What the? Oh. No, there's one in our backfield, too. There's one in our backfield. Okay. Alright. No, it's dead. It flies as well as I do. And got it. I don't see anything yet. There's a medium tank down the far lane, but nope. Pop. I don't think there's anything else that's down that lane. I could be wrong. I think those are allies. Nope, nope, nope. T-72. Where are you, T-72? Oh, that's a problem. No, 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 reload, 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 reload. You get it? Nice. Oh. Ho-Ro OP. I'm 90% sure it actually damaged me. Behind us. It's all you, he got my cannon. And I'm an idiot and just stopped my repairs accidentally. What'd you get on him? Keep being a pleek armor. I still don't have it back yet. Hello. Can we just, Can we just not do that? That'd be real handy. Nope. Nope. I would like to end a game in a good match, but looking at that in our spawn, I'm hedging my bets. I am hedging my bets that this will not be a good match. The volumetric shells. Yeah. Yeah, they changed a lot. They had a profound effect on the game mechanics. Sometimes good, sometimes far from good. Okay, I see him. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. No 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 no! Stop that SPAA, you bastard! God, Sergeant York. It's my least liked SPAA. No. It's a lost cause. God, the Sergeant York is one of the ones that gets me because it's so garbage in real life. It is an absolute catastrophe of a vehicle in real life, and yet it's so good in this game because of those HE time shells. They make all of the difference. Ah, oh, man. And then you have Sergeant Bork, the Swedish variant. Just Step Sergeant. What are you doing, Step Sergeant? I'll have to keep that in mind if I ever see one stuck. I would be absolutely... Nope, it's a night match. Alright, never mind. Joy of joys of joys. Leopard 1 it is. I really much preferred the night maps before flares. Flares make this so much more rough, and so does packet loss. Man, look at all those L-44s. L-44 City! We'll do that. That is actually also one of the things I love about whenever Gaijin does like the 50% off vehicles and all that kind of stuff. Just the massive influx of all the premium vehicles. And packet loss. Extra packet loss. Those precious, precious hamsters of Gaijin are starting to wear thin. Hold the front line, cover flanks. That is a sound battle plan. Funk Parliament. I cannot argue with that tactic of holding the front line and covering the flanks. You have failed us already. Oh, TMLs.
Attention to the designated grid square.
I will say, despite how long this has taken, I do actually prefer taking this route on higher tier. Because A, the loss of speed isn't as bad as it is at low tier, and being on the flank I think is so handy on this side. Last time it did not show through, I just died to a Tiger. And they are almost at sea. Looks like someone is on the ridge. Hold up. Wait, don't start. Maneuver. Yeah, we'll take that. Night vision makes that much of a difference. So, yeah. Thermal is honestly what makes the real difference. Thermal is the absolute playmaker of higher tier. Oops. Yeah, there's definitely something up there. Something's sparking. Alright. Team. Oh yeah, track. That's what I needed. It's an AM. Don't do it, T-55. Nope. Big light, you're my only other thing with thermal. Wait a minute. No, helicopter's already dead. Was that the same TML? Or a different TML? Like I said, I actually don't use... You spawn camping bastards. I don't even know where that came from. I don't use 2 monitors. I ought to use 2 monitors because it would make it easier. But I actually currently use my primary computer, and I have a computer next to me that I just let the chat feed run through. 2 monitors would definitely be more efficient, but I am working with what I've got. So, yay. And we'll go ahead and fix this now. And then hopefully get C and replace that crewman that suffered a short life. I haven't heard the phrase Mongoloid in forever. It is specifically something that one of my friends in university would actually say a lot, is calling people a Mongoloid. I mean, it's basically on the same lines of like calling someone a charlatan or a troglodyte. But Mongoloid's a good one. I haven't heard that in so long. Alright, Gaijin. I see we want to work well at keeping that night vision active.
Attention to the map.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh. That's dead. That's a dead me, actually. I will say, night vision in real life makes a huge difference. And obviously not just because of the simple, you know, you can see what you couldn't. If you took a night vision comparison compared to like a heavily illuminated field via traditional lighting, you're actually always better off with the night vision because your eyes can perceive more shades of green than any other color, which is partially why night vision is the color that it is because that's what your eyes can perceive the most of. So it's what helps keep as much detail as you have in night vision. The drawback, and this gets better with future generations of night vision, but it's still a thing nonetheless, is it wildly throws off your depth perception. So if you're not used to having night vision, or what it is to look through night vision, you have a real hard time walking and maneuvering. Typically, when you're trained on night vision for the first time, it's in a closed course, like a little circuit, if you will, with preset obstacles for you to get used to like navigating. And people still hurt themselves all the time still doing that. Because there's ladders and stuff and things like that that are still part of the course, and people fall off them all the time and get hurt. And that's why you train on night vision. And I am now doing my one good deed for the team and actually capping something. Thermal doesn't mess with your vision as much though. So that is... Hello, plane. That is one advantage of thermal. There's not, like, I can't think of actually any top of the head comments about like, hey, this is a massive drawback of thermal. It used to be that thermal, its ability to perceive was very limited. Like, you wouldn't be able to see a temperature reading on the other side of a glass pane. It would just tell you the temperature reading of the glass you were looking at. But it's definitely gone a lot better to where it can do that. And not even just on the military side of things. I think that's dead. On what you can buy as like a civilian, if you will. Like even for mechanical work. Because working on vehicles, you'll have what's called a predator scope. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's just a thermal imaging screen. And like older ones, like some of the older Snap-on variants wouldn't be able to see through glass, but like newer ones can. What am I doing? Why am I driving through every tank trap in existence? It's late. I'm starting to do terrible at double or multitasking. Talking is hard. There we go. Hello, L44. Be my shield.
We've captured most of the strategic zones.
This is it. It's all caps. No kills. No kill assists. I'm not gonna drive up there because that's asking to get shot by something. I think that's alive. Yay! Just in time. That's dead. That might actually wrap up this match. How many people do they even have? 5? I'm assuming that's in their spawn. Tried the boldest of plays. I guess I'll cap A. I really got nothing else going on, actually. Cap City. I have no idea what's the best way to go up the mountain from this side. Are you capping it? No, he's gonna cap it. I'm not even gonna get there on time. Away I go. We'll keep spotting things. Or driving into trenches I don't see because of blinding flares. I used to be that way. Like, I used to have the worst sleep schedule where I would easily stay up until 4 in the morning consecutively. And I try to avoid it now because it can really throw me off. But definitely something I used to do a long time ago was just stay up like until 4 or 6 and then sleep throughout the day. And it's kind of, I always feel more energetic at night, but once again I try to not let that get its hooks into me, as it were. Like Miss Fluffy Paws. Or Floofy Paws. God, what? She's just going to town on people. Or nothing, actually, now that I'm looking. She's not shooting anything. That was a slow but steady game, without a doubt. Alright, well, I think I am going to go ahead and call it for tonight, because it has been a bit while for me now. But I thank you all so much for coming. It definitely means a lot to me seeing all of you for my debut stream. And I hope to see you guys at further streams I do. Like I said, I might try to keep with this schedule of doing them at like 6:30 or so. Most days. And like I said, probably switching between YouTube and Twitch if I can get YouTube to be less feisty with me about working. But once again, thank you so much for stopping by, and I will see you all next time. Bye.